Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new here. I am Martina Lily and it has been a while. Oh Lord, I will tell you why if you don't check my community tabs and all that kind of stuff. But today I have so much new makeup that I have been playing with and testing while I haven't been able to film, and I'm just gonna share all my thoughts on these products with you guys, catch you up, and have a hopefully good old-fashioned makeup time. And that sounds interesting to you. So if it does, go ahead and do the YouTubey things, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Let's get into it. You guys are zoomed in nice and close, 4K, no filters, and everything I use on my face today will be linked in the description box down below for you guys. They are affiliate links though, so if you shop through them, thank you so much. My Lord, I have missed you guys. I have missed you. I have been here in spirit, I promise. But listen, I'm gonna start the makeup in a second. I'll have timestamps, so if you just want to skip this part and you're like, lady, just get to the makeup, you can do that. But long story short, at the very start of December, my air conditioning completely broke in my house. I live in Australia and I live in a very hot, humid climate here. And I live in a house where there's no natural airflow. So like not having aircon is basically just sitting in like a house that bakes like an oven in the sun all day with no natural air coming through or breeze or anything. So it's been kind of impossible to film because it's so hot that I would either get like literal heat stroke or just sweating, or just it, like especially with the studio lights, because this room doesn't, I don't have any natural light either really in the house to film and all this kind of stuff. Anyway, essentially long story short, it's been too hard to film. It's been an ordeal to get my air conditioning fixed, and it's not fully fixed, but it is fixed in my beauty room and the lounge room, just not in our bedroom, but that's okay. You guys don't need to worry about that. It is fixed enough to a point where I can film again. Hallelujah. I miss you guys so much. I am so sorry that I have been gone for so long. I know you understand. Like today we're going to cover off on like a heap, or like use a heap of new products that I've picked up, and one of them being, or like a large amount of them being, the new Chanel spring collection, which I did film a review on with like having my fan on when it was, I got up like super early to see if I could do it, and I could, but the noise from the fan was really distracting in the video, and you guys said to edit it and it would be okay, but honestly I'm such a perfectionist, I couldn't do it. And then by that point as well, I was like, does anyone want to see a dedicated review of that? Probably not. So I thought today, introductory video of like, here I am, I'm back, and let's give you kind of like reviews on all the new makeup that I've been trying all in one go. Hopefully that makes sense. So I have new brushes. I have the new Lisa Eldridge Pinpoint Concealer, new Dior bronzer. Like I have so much stuff. I do have the new YSL blushes. That review will be coming next. I wanted to do a separate review of those. So yeah, let's get into it. I am gonna do my eyes first. Just gonna brush my brows up. I even have new brow products, so that's exciting. I'm just gonna take my Sigma eye primer for eye primer today. My skin is not looking crash hot because like I've just been sweating for about 6 weeks straight, and so everything's just constantly kind of purging, and I haven't really been wearing makeup because it's been like, just count how many times I say it's been too hot to wear it, sorry, is what I'm trying to spit out. And so like I find when I don't wear makeup, my skin gets more breakout prone. I don't know about you guys, but probably from like touching your face. Anyway, so it's been nice to have cooling air again, because yesterday we had like a heat warning in effect where it was like extreme heat, and it's supposed to last now for like a week, that extreme heat. So it was like, oh, thankfully we could at least, we had to like move our mattress downstairs and like sleep in the lounge room and everything, but it's totally fine. I am totally okay with that as long as I have some cooling air. Also, I wanted to say to anyone who's affected by the LA fires that I am so sorry. I have been thinking about you guys, especially those of you that live in LA or are impacted or know anyone that's impacted by those fires. They are heartbreaking. As an Australian, we get a lot of bushfires, and we've had serious bushfires, like we had one a couple of years ago. So I completely understand the devastation and just helplessness and frustration and anger, especially with those arsons, that causes. And I have been thinking of you guys, and I'm just so sorry. And I have been sending you guys all my prayers and love and thoughts, and I hope you were all okay, and I hope you were all safe. And my heart just breaks for all of LA, honestly, and all those animals, and oh, horrible. So I wanted to just quickly say that. So we're gonna start with the Chanel Spring Single Eyeshadows. So I picked up Latte Frappe and Peach Glacy. I'll pop some swatches in for you guys as well so that you can see what they look like swatched. I've actually used these non-stop since I got them. I got them as soon as they dropped in Australia. I think it was like the first week of January actually. These are really good, spoiler alert, and so handy for the everyday. I say I've been using them non-stop after I've said I'm not really wearing makeup. Let me clarify. Anytime I have worn makeup, which is about 6 times in the last 3 weeks especially, I've actually worn these because they look gorgeous on, even considering they're a little bit warm toned. We're gonna start with Latte Frappe, Latte Frappe. I'm gonna take my Rephr 33 and I like to pop this all over the lid as a one and done. I'll also pop, I might be talking in the clip, but I'll pop a little clip of like what the eye look came out in looking like in the review video that I did for this as well, because I really liked that look. It was probably going to be pretty similar to now, but just so you can see as well. In that look, I didn't put the matte shadow all over the lid, but in this one we are. So I'm just going to press this all over the lid. And these are nicely buildable. A little bit more pigmented than, say, what their normal quad formula is, but not so pigmented like a Natasha Denona matte, for example. So still really lovely for beginners or just anyone who wants a soft buildable eyeshadow. But you can build this up too. So I find, you know how with like a Pat McGrath Labs single shadow, like matte eyeshadow, sorry, in her motherships at least, I find it with most of her mattes to be honest anyway. You know how you can kind of take the one shadow and tailor it to be different shades, so you can use it really sparingly to be a very light shade, and then you can build it up and you can kind of get a lot of dimension in the one shade from her formula. I find that's what this is like as well. You can kind of keep building it up and deepen it, so it's quite nice. And it's a very smoothing, velvety type formula, where it is going to be really lovely if you have textured lids or like more mature lids, either or if you don't have any of those, still lovely. But yeah, it just feels really lovely, and it feels really lightweight on the eyes too. So yeah, like I said, I've really been enjoying this single shadow. And I know there's another matte shadow in their original singles they released last year that I've had been eyeing for a while, and after trying this formula I think I'm actually going to pick it up because this formula's really impressed me. Now I'm just going to pick up a Wayne Goss E2 and go into the same shadow, and this is where I'm just going to build it up a little bit in the outer corner, just deepen it up a little bit, sorry, and create a little dimension just out here. Like, it's not going to go too deep, but you should be able to see just a little bit more depth here. Now, again, I'm going to insert that look that I did on the original review, and I will tell you on that look which eye has the Intensify stick for the Peach Glacy shadow and which one doesn't. I'm going to put Intensifies on both lids today. Now, what I will say is the Intensify stick it's a shadow, sorry, that is tailorable. So if I wanted a really soft, almost satin type finish, then I wouldn't use Intensifies for this metallic shadow. If I want something a little bit more amped up and metallic looking, then that's when I would use the Pat McGrath Labs Intensifies, which is like a glitter glue, so you could use a concealer or wet your brush or something as well. This is just a Sonia G Worker Pro. You could also, like, if you're someone that just wants a really quick one and done, literally just put your eye primer on, grab your finger and like tap this over the lid, and it will go on like a satin, beautiful like satin one and done. It's absolutely gorgeous. And again, this kind of formula, really lovely for textured lids, mature lids, any lids really, but just, yeah, absolutely beautiful, soft formula. Now this is going to be more metallic built up because I have put the Intensifiers down. And again, if you want it even softer and just a satin, and I say built up, like it's still not like an intense metallic like you Natasha Denona's, that kind of thing. It's still a luxury type formula like that, but it's just a little bit more amped up. Just depends on your vibe. I've been using it both ways, honestly, when I've been using them. I've also been liking using this and then getting one of the Patrick Ta like eyeshadow duos, which I have a video of them on the channel, and like tapping a little bit of one of those shadows over the top to add some sparkle. That's also been a way that I've been liking to use these. See how pretty that is though? Ooh, I really like that. I think that's actually so pretty, and it's a shade that I honestly didn't think I would be super gravitated towards because it is a warm shadow, but I really like it, especially when like the whole look comes together. It looks really lovely. I'm just going back into the matte with that E2 from Wayne Goss. Did anyone pick up Wayne Goss's new brushes? Just a little bit too expensive for me, and like the shapes of them, I was like, oh, there's nothing too innovative in there for me to like want to pick them up, but let me know if you picked any up. We're gonna leave the eyes there for now. Probably all looks like a hot mess, don't worry. Trust the process, it'll come together. This is my Rephr eye balm. So again, I hope you guys have all been well. How was your holidays period? What's going on? I've missed you guys, like I've said a million times. I'm still obsessed with the Tom Ford Traceless Primer. Whoa, this is such a good primer. It blows me away every time I use it. So glad that you guys really kept asking to see a review of this because I wasn't going to pick it up. I didn't think my skin was going to like it, and I just picked it up. I was like, oh, I'll just pick it up for the review. I got it on sale. Oh, such a good primer. Such a good primer. Oh. This is just a Rephr BO2, by the way. This brush. This really has been like, when I've had to wear makeup in this bloody heat, it has been a lifesaver at just like keeping my oils at bay and really keeping the makeup like extra perfected, along with my Chanel loose powder, which has been a lifesaver as well. I'm going to take my Bobbi Brown color corrector palette here, and this is an NY11 from my Kitco and Danessa. I just mix all the shades together for this. I just have to say, because I'm knee deep into the second last book, you guys told me, so I talked about last year how I read A Court of Thorns and then I read the Crescent City series and how good they were, and how the Crescent City series especially was like the best book series I think I've ever read. And I was saying how I was starting Throne of Glass, and I was like, oh, I'm not sure about it yet. And you guys were like, trust me, stick with it. It's really good. Like, so many of you said that. And I'm so glad I listened to you, because I am now like halfway through the second to last book. And my Lord, these are the best. Each book that I read in this series is like better than the last, and like is some of the best books I've ever read in my life. My gosh, she's a brilliant author. Anyway, I just had to say that because I know quite a few of you were like, no, seriously, keep pushing through with the series. So thank you, because it's amazing. I just I read the Fourth Wing series as well, like the first two books, and I just purchased the new book for that, and I can't wait to read that, but I've got to finish Throne of Glass first. Did anyone else pick up the Fourth Wing series though? So good. Anyway, just had to say that. All right, that is color corrected. I probably put a bit more on than I needed to, but anyway, what else is new? I did pick up the Lisa Pinpoint concealers. You know, I had to. I picked up two shades, shade 2 and shade 4. Shade 4 is perfect for like skin tone matching. Shade 2 is like perfect for brightening. So this one's shade 2, shade 4. I did also get the free little pencil case that came with it, which is absolutely adorable, and I love the color. And I did also pick up the brush that she released. So this is the new face brush that she dropped. And I've used this a couple of times. I'll tell you how I feel about it. Actually, let me just tell you how I feel about it now. I don't really love it. It's a bit too dense for me, and it almost like grips to the skin too much for me. So it's not bad. It's just not something that I've used and I'm like, whoa, you know? So I'm going to use the Pinpoint concealers now and just show you like for anyone that wants to do like a no makeup look, for example, or just quickly pinpoint conceal some stuff without foundation, what it looks like on my skin, especially because I've got a lot of imperfections right now. And then I'll show you like once I've put foundation on as well. This is definitely, if you are someone that doesn't wear foundation or just wants to like quickly pinpoint conceal like that without the foundation, this is a product for you. And she does talk about that in her review video, where this is really made for that kind of makeup. You can obviously use it for multiple ways, which she shows, and I do always recommend watching Lisa's review videos because she explains them and demos them so phenomenally, and she created the product, so she shows you all the different ways you can use it and all that kind of stuff. I've been testing these, when are they? I think 2 weeks now. I've tested them about 4 times in that time. I'm just gonna show you, like, see, I've got this spot and this spot. So let me just show you. She says to just basically like scribble it here. And then like, you can use a brush as well, but I do find using your finger blends this in more seamlessly and easily. And I find using it on bare skin, or like just putting your primer on and then using this, is much easier and it blends in more naturally personally. Again, keep in mind, all my opinion, my experience, everyone's going to be different. I'll just like do a bit through here. I find that to be easier. Like I find when I use this over foundation, it can almost like be a bit too dry. I think she talks about, I just finished rewatching her review video actually, and I'm sure she talked about in that how this is like full coverage. I don't find these to build up to be full coverage, but listen, maybe that's me. But so that's the spots now. I feel like you can still kind of see them. But it, I mean, I will say they do, like, that's done a pretty decent job there actually. I'm probably being a bit harsh to be fair. So I think for me, these are the, I have like a red dot here, which is annoying me, so let's do that. These are like a nice to have, if you will. For me personally, in the way that I like to do my makeup, I can see myself going through these really quickly. Like I think if you were someone like me who is got quite a few imperfections that you would want to cover, probably go through this quite quickly. Because I do find you need to like build it up. For it to really make a difference. So I can see myself going through this pretty quickly. I do like this lighter one though for like the other ways that she uses it, for like tightening the brow, lightening the brow bone, or like shaping this, or like fixing shadows, that kind of a thing. So again, watch her review video. But yeah, I don't personally... This, if I was to use it like as a pinpoint concealer, it's a nice to have, but it's definitely not a must have. Like I wouldn't repurchase this right now, like if it went missing, just because of the way that I like to do my makeup and the way that I prefer my skin to look and all that kind of stuff. I guess if my skin wasn't like looking as haggard as what it's looking right now, and it was only had like maybe the odd spot, it would probably be pretty perfect. And I would recommend, like if your skin's looking like, I don't know if it's going to pick up on camera, sometimes my lights can like blur them out a little bit or like make them not look, but I just have little red dots everywhere because I really just, my skin, like I said, is purging. So if your skin's kind of like that, where you've just got a lot to almost spot cover, I would almost recommend, like if you want to do that no makeup, like a skin tint and then do the spots, because I think that's going to probably be a bit easier and use less product. But yeah, I don't know. Have you guys tried these? Let me know. There's a couple of other ways I'll use them throughout the video as well. I finally picked up the Glossier foundation. I picked up the shade Light 2 from memory from using this. It's okay because I've got a high neck, like I've even got a heat brush here. This is too deep, but the shade before it was way too light. I picked up as soon as I saw it got restocked on Beautylicious. It's been a year. I've been wanting this brush for a year. This is the Jumbo foundation brush from Sonia G, so I'm just gonna pick this up. I remember when I was raving about in a video, this was actually, I think this was well over a year ago. I was raving about how much I loved BK 101, and one of you guys commented saying, I'll see your BK 101 and raise you the Sonia G Jumbo foundation brush. I have never forgotten this comment. It's been over a year. And ever since that comment, I have wanted to try this brush, and it has been out of stock since then. So, and I'm pretty sure it was someone that still, like it was a subscriber that still watches actively on my channel actually. So if it was you and you remember, let me know. But yeah, finally got my hands on this, and wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, 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 wow. This is really, 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 really good and really worth the money. I love it. I absolutely love it. It does such a nice job at blending out foundation. Granted, right now, it actually really needs a clean, so it's not going to blend out as nicely as it normally does, because it is at that point where I've pushed it too far. But I love it. I meant to clean it yesterday actually, but naturally I forgot. Okay, let's talk about this Glossier foundation. I think if you have dry skin or normal skin and you want a more hydrating, light to barely medium coverage foundation, I guess light to medium coverage, yeah, you'll probably like it. It's not my favorite. It does wear nice, like it wears, if I set it properly and use it with this Tom Ford foundation and I set it properly, it does actually wear quite nice and very natural. And kind of like makes my skin still look quite plump. It doesn't like strip the skin or anything, which it's not supposed to do because it is like a hydrating foundation. I wouldn't say it's my immediate like, oh, this is a holy grail. It's just nice. So yeah, I'm not like a, oh, run out and get this. I think if you have mature skin as well, like mature dry skin, and you don't want a lot of like heavy coverage or anything, you might like it. But then even then, there's just other foundations I would recommend over this. So yeah, it's fine. That's how I feel about this foundation. It's just fine. I don't know how else to kind of describe it, if I'm honest, other than it's just fine. It does wear lovely though, I will say that, like for my combination skin, especially because I'm a lot oilier at the moment. It's actually probably a foundation, to be fair. Like, see me in winter when my skin's like proper dry and we don't have 80% humidity upwards in the air at all times. I could see myself actually being like, actually, I was a bit harsh on this foundation. I really like it, you know? I don't have any new concealers other than the Pinpoint, but I have been liking using my Clay to Pose stick in beige. And I've actually been liking using it with the Hourglass concealer, but for today, I wanted to use my Victoria Beckham, and this is in the shade FL1, which I very much surprisingly really like this concealer. I just didn't expect to like it as much as I do. I'm gonna pop a little bit of this just through the T-zone here as well. I absolutely picked up the BK Trio, the new brush trio. Wow, so good, especially the 115. Oh my gosh, again, like a really, really good foundation brush, really good, but I also really like using this for like blending out cream products. And then I am loving so much more than I thought I was going to, the 114, which is like a flat brush. And then it has like the hair on this side for cream products and then the hair on this side for powder products, kind of like the brush from Nikki LaRose, but it's like super thin. And I didn't think I would like this, but wow, it's good. It's so soft and just like gets into those like little nooks here. Gosh, I've honestly been loving this brush. This is such a good brush. The other one, this one, the 116, is also really good, but I just like the shapes of the other two more. That's just a personal preference. But see how good it blends out concealer, and also those concealers look delightful together. I just saw that Natasha Denona released the High Glam blush duos, like blush and highlight duos. I think they get released tomorrow my time on Beautylish, so absolutely shall be picking up them. So much blush. I've got so many blush products. So also content wise, one, membership. I am so sorry, okay? I am so sorry. Don't you worry. I'm going to hit membership content so hard this year. So keep an eye out, because I think I might be able to do a members only live on my Monday, your Sunday. It's public holiday here. So keep an eye out for that. And just, I'm going to have structured members content, don't you worry. Like, I think I'm going to aim for either a live weekly or like a live bi-weekly and like just an unedited kind of get ready with me video, like what I've got on there in the other week. So it'll be like at least one video a week for you guys. And then content for the channel, I'm just going to do another thin layer of concealer. Content for the channel, one, I'm just pretending now that this is the 1st of January for me. So I will still post, like I haven't done my makeup regrets for last year, or like my beauty favorites or my brush favorites and stuff from last year. So I'll still film those. And then I've got to do all the makeup that I've used all the makeup that I used up completely in 2024, sorry, which I've done that the last 2 years. Plus I keep other videos. I also am ready to film my Chanel full face review. I've got a couple of other brands that I'm ready to film the full face. I also picked up, I want to do like a roundup of all the products that I picked up in Black Friday sales and like speed reviews of them. And then I also, like I picked up nearly everything from Merit Beauty, and Merit actually reached out to me because like a lot of you, my Australian followers, asked for a Merit Beauty review now that they ship to Australia. Spoiler alert, so much more impressed with their brand than I ever thought I was going to be. I didn't think that was a brand I was going to like at all. But the brand actually reached out to me and asked if I wanted to do a sponsored video with them. And I actually said to them, hand on heart, I can show you the email. But I said to them, I actually purchased a heap of their products to do a full face review, and I was like, and I would rather do that initial full face review without a sponsorship so that I'm free to say what I want, but also, I mean, I would be anyway, I wouldn't take a sponsorship that I couldn't, but also just so that you guys knew, like, didn't feel like because it was sponsored I wasn't. I know that a lot of you trust me, but I still just was like, I think my audience would prefer that video to not be sponsored, and then later on down the track, if you want to do a sponsorship, that'd be great, depending on how I feel about the products, although the products that I've tried so far, I'm obsessed with. As I'm talking about this, I'm just going to use my Dior contour, cream contour. And so, but I did say to them, but if you would like to send me the rest of the products that I don't have for the full face review, so that I literally have all the products for that review, that'd be awesome. And they just emailed me back today and said, yeah, that sounds great. So once those come in and I've tested them, it's really just the mascara and like the brushes and stuff. I've pretty much got everything else. I can do that video for you guys as well. So this is one of the new BK115s. Really good, especially if you want like a vegan foundation brush, because these are vegan and Sonia G is natural hair. But I really also like this for blending out cream contour products. And then actually the other brush that I've got, I got the mini sheer buffer because, you know, I have the larger sheer buffer and I love it. Still love that, but I got the mini one that Sonia G released, and this is also really good, especially if you have like a smaller face or you prefer, if you want like more precision blending for the cream products. It's really nice. I think this would also be quite lovely for foundation. I just haven't actually tried it for that. See how it just precisely blends that in. So many good new brushes, you guys, that I've brought into the collection. Just such good new brushes coming out. I'm loving it. So yeah, so that's Merit. I want to do a full face of Patrick Tar. Just so much content. So I've had a month off, and did you know, this was the first, I still worked during that time, my job, but this was the first time I've had off truly since 2020 where I haven't done 2 full-time jobs, because this YouTube is a full-time job, trust me. So I have had like a month break and I am ready to go. My energy is all pent up, ready to go. But I will say it was almost a blessing in disguise, and sometimes I wonder if the universe broke my aircon because they knew that I really needed a proper break, like a proper break from 2 jobs. Like I needed to just have true downtime. And I wonder, like I never would have done that. I would have said I was going to do it and I never would have actually done it if my aircon didn't break. So I'm ready to go. Watch me go. Now let's just add a little spot concealing so you guys can see, because this little spot right here is driving me nuts. Again, I find just the finger is easier to, I'm not flipping you guys off, this is just easier for me to blend it out like this. But yeah, let me know what content you guys want to see as well. Send it to me, my loves. You know I heavily take all your like wants and needs into consideration. I'm actually going to pop some here where that pigmentation won't leave. My skin, I will admit, is actually looking pretty good considering how haggard it is truly looking. Like I said, I don't think the camera will be picking up. It might be, you guys might be like, no, trust me, we can see how bad it looks. But it is looking rough. So it's actually looking nicer than I was anticipating. Actually, I'm going to try this because I was just watching Lisa's video where she was talking about she gets like a shadow right in here and she uses the brightening shade to lighten it. So let's try that and see. Oh, wow, that actually makes a massive difference. Gives you like that, you know how the Kardashians started that whole like, for some reason we can't have these lines, whatever they're called there, with their like editing, photo editing like way years ago now. It's like erases them. Actually, that's amazing. Wow. And then she also uses it to like pinpoint brighten there. So let's do that. I'll take my little concealer brush here and gosh, actually I really like them. So I like the one for brightening. Like I would replace the shade 2 Precision instantly, actually, because I do like it. Like that's kind of how I would use it. Again, it all comes down to how you're gonna, you know, your makeup preferences and like how you like to use it and what you like your skin to look like and stuff, right? I don't actually have a new powder. I picked up the Tarte Creaseless powder in pink because it finally got released in Sephora, but this is way too deep. Way too deep. Like it is way too deep for me. So I need to pick up a lighter shade, which if you have this and you have a lighter shade, can you tell me whether or not it's worth it? Because I did use this once and I quite liked it. I was on the fence though if maybe it was a little bit too drying for my under eyes, but I did quite like it. But just, yeah, let me know what you think. So I'm just going to use my La Prairie powder for my whole face, including my under eyes, because I can use this on my under eyes and my face for today. I just unscrew the lid if I'm honest, because I'm impatient and can't be bothered tapping it through the hole. So I'm just going to set my face. Oh, I also picked up the new Fenty Beauty setting spray that she dropped. So that's on its way to me, which is exciting. And then my friend went to America and I got her, she went to Vegas, and I just sent like a few products that I wanted to pick up, which was like the Cali Ray color correctors, one of the Tarte Maracuja creaseless color correctors because they're not released at Sephora over here yet, a Cali Ray blush, like just a couple of random little products. She couldn't get, unfortunately they couldn't get in stock the Cali Ray color correctors or the primer, I think it was, but they did manage to get the Cali Ray cream blush, the new Mario lip gloss lip oil thing, and the Tarte color corrector. So I will be seeing her next week, I think, to pick those up, which will be cool, so stay tuned. So I might need to just suck it up and do a shop my order to get the other Cali Ray products that I really want to try. I actually picked up one of the little House Labs, what is this called? Lip glaze and honey shimmer. It was like one of their Christmas things. I did a House Labs order for Black Friday and I picked up one of the powder blushes, one of the cream blushes, and these, and a new concealer shade. I can't remember if I don't think I've shown them on the channel yet. Anyway, I did, and I got this, and it's lovely. I don't think it's a must-have, but it does look lovely. Let's do brows. I picked up the new Viseart, what is this called? Like brow palette, I guess. This is in the color, it does not say, I think it was light brown. And it has 2 powders and a pomade. And then I also picked up the Benefit Feather Brow Pen. So I will use a mixture of both. So I'm just gonna pick up my spoolie here. And this is just an MY39 brush. I'm gonna pick up the top powder, just a touch. It looks quite light, but it actually goes on deeper than what you think. And I'm just gonna see how it goes deeper than you think. I'm just gonna use this to like shape first. I probably won't use the pomade in this today, but it is quite nice. It's not too heavily pigmented. It's a little bit waxy feeling, so it doesn't glide as smoothly as what you might hope, but it is quite nice. And it's also really useful in here if you want to like use this to kind of quickly just shape and fill, and then use the pomade for like hair-like strokes. It's quite good like that. Leave that there, and then I picked up this Benefit Mighty Fine Brow Pen. I got the shade 3.5, and it's one of these like 3-prong ones, which I know you're probably thinking, oh, but normally they're kind of bad, right? Not this one. This is amazing. So I like to use this one for feather-like hair strokes. See that? See how natural that is? So again, if you're also someone that likes to just create feather stroke hairs, or you need a product like that, this is what you want to get. This is actually the best one of these I've ever tried. It's so natural, and it's probably not looking as good as what I normally do, because talking and doing brows at the same time is a real challenge for me. But see how just natural it looks? Oh, sometimes like if I'm in a rush as well, I do like to shape my brows. That's why I like to do the other step with the powder, but sometimes I just want to put brow gel in, and then I'll quickly run this through it and fill in some gaps, and it looks really lovely. All right, let's leave them there, because if I get too deep in the weeds there, they'll start getting cray-cray. Still loving my Patrick Ta tinted brow wax, so just taking his setting spray here, and I just wet it, and then I've got this little spoolie. This has been my like tinted brow gel. So I like to use 2 brow gels because I have ridiculously strong brow hairs. Even though this is pretty sturdy, but I still like to use both. See, I just love the way this looks through the brows. I got the new NARS clear brow gel, the brow shaping gel. This came out a while ago, I think like around Christmas time. Again, if you don't have ridiculously strong brow hairs like I do, that needs like the Rephr brow sculpt or the Patrick Ta lamination gel or something like, or the Rephr, the REM brow gel or something like really, really strong, then you'll probably quite like it, because it's not it does have a pretty decent hold to it. It's just that if you have incredibly strong brow hairs like I do for some reason, like I'll fluff these all the way up now so that they look a bit ridiculous, and honestly by the time my makeup's done, they'll have started drooping back down. Then yeah, this isn't for you. It's a pretty solid hold, but just, yeah, so for normal brow hairs it's probably fun, like great, but if you have extra strong ones like me, go for the Rephr or something like that. Time to finish the eyes. I'm gonna take the latte thingy. This is just an Esom S31 brush from the Sophia Seas Beauty Cross Esom set, and I'm just going to run this underneath here. I'm just taking my Victoria Beckham Cocoa eyeliner for the top waterline. And then this is just my Patrick Tar cream liner for the lower. For the inner corner, I picked up naturally I picked this up, right? This is the highlighter and eyeshadow face palette from Chanel for spring collection. Oh wow, this is, spoiler alert, this is amazing. This is absolutely stunning. So I'm just gonna take this shadow for my inner corner, and so I'm just gonna use my Sonia G pencil brush and just do that. See how pretty that is? And just to be a little bit extra, I'm gonna take a little bit of this one on my ring finger, just pop that through the center here, which you might not be able to see fully on camera, but in real life just adds this gorgeous little shift. Like, I don't know, can you see that? It's so pretty. And then I'll even just take a little bit of this one and just pop that here, just because you've kind of been staring at what that other shade looks like this whole time. So now we can see how you can layer it. Oh, they're so pretty. I love this. And then when I go to do my highlighter, I'll tell you how I feel about it in that respect. But I really like it, again, if you're someone that wants like just a beautiful, subtle kind of like highlight gloss to the lids. It looks gorgeous. And again, like really, it'll be really lovely on mature lids or textured lids. I don't have any mascara, so I'm just gonna use my Lisa Eldridge one. So mascara's on, and I missed a step, so now I'm going to take my number 2 pinpoint brush from pinpoint concealer from Lisa, and I'm just going to shape under my brows. Usually I'd use like a foundation or my Danessa Myricks Ground Light palette, the light shadow in that. This is an MY35 by the way, but I have been liking using this. Don't worry, if it looks a little crazy, it'll get better. And then I just like to get my Christian Louboutin powder foundation, or just whatever light shade I've kind of powder I've got around me. And this is just a Sigma E25, and then I just blend that concealer into the eyeshadow with it. You don't have to do this obviously, but I just find it's like a nice extra little finishing step. And then Lisa talks about how she actually uses this to like even like shape up out here. So let's do that and see. If you had like a wing on and you needed to like really crisp it up, you could use that. That'd be really good. Let's do bronzer. I picked up one of the new Dior Forever nude bronzer. I picked up the shade Too Light Matte. Beautiful packaging. It's got like that squishy stuff, and this comes in like a satin, I want to say, like a glow formula, and then the matte. I always prefer a matte. So this is the shade, and then I'll swatch this for you as well. And spoiler alert, this shade is definitely too light for me. So if you're very fair or lighter than me, or my shade, like, yeah, sorry, if you're lighter than me, or I don't know what I'm trying to spit out, honestly. If you're lighter than me, this is going to be great for you. It's a true bronze shade, so it does, like, I think you could tell from the swatch, it has a little warmth to it. There's no kind of like neutralness to it, so keep that in mind. If you're my shade, you're going to want to go deeper because it is very, very light. I don't mind it just because I can build it up. I'm also probably a shade deeper than what I normally would be right now because it's summer. But I also probably, like if I had to repurchase, I would pick up a deeper shade. So this is the Esam T59 from the Sophia Seas Beauty Cross Esam set. This has like become truly my absolute fave bronzer brush. It does have a scent to it, but I don't find it breaks me up. Probably because by this point I've got so many layers of makeup on my face, it's not gonna react. So I guess as well, if you're my tone and find that we're normally quite good shades. I mean, it does look beautiful. See, it's kind of like the YSL All Hours one where it's almost too light, but then it's just this beautiful, really natural bronze. I take it back actually. I don't think I need a deeper shade just because I'm quite heavy-handed. I can build it up and it's quite natural. If I was even a half a hair deeper though, you wouldn't see this. So yeah, just keep that in mind. It is a very beautiful bronzer though. It is really, really smoothing. I think you can clearly see it's very buildable. A great bronzer for those of you that maybe like feel nervous about applying bronzer because it's just, see how soft and buildable it is. It's not too warm where it's like too orange actually. It's quite a nice bronze as well. So I actually quite like this. I like this much better than the other Dior Forever bronzer. So this one's the nude one. You know the one in the white squishy packaging or the cream squishy packaging? I don't personally like that bronzer. I know a lot of people did, but for me it's just a really average powder bronzer, whereas this has a bit more of a creamy feel to it. It's not as creamy and velvety feeling as the YSL or the Lancome, but it's pretty close. Like it does have that really soft, creamy feel to it. So it gives it that beautiful blur, if you will. So I do quite like it. I think if you're intrigued by it, really love Dior, and you're just like, I just want to give it a go, like, I don't think you'd be disappointed, honestly, unless the undertone is just plain and simple not for you. This is just my Sonia G Smooth Buffer, and I always just do this after bronzer. If you do have it in store near you, I'd probably recommend if you can do it in person just to get the right shade, but otherwise if you're like my skin tone and you want it to be this soft, then get that one. If you're lighter, that's probably pretty good for you, but if you want it deeper or you're deeper than me, definitely shade up. Now highlight. Normally I would put a cream highlight on, but I just want to show you how beautiful this palette is on its own. So this is just my Rephr AA01, and I've been really liking this shade for my highlight. I could get away with this shade. These two are going to be too deep though. These are more like eyeshadows, but I've been really liking this one. And normally I find with Chanel highlighters, I think I've any kind of limited edition ones that have come out in the past year and a half I've picked up, and I've got like the one in their main collection, which you'll see in my full face review on that. And apart from the Jardin blush and highlighter duos, the rest of the Chanel highlighters I've got all have like fairy glitter in them, and it drives me nuts because I don't like my highlighters like that. This does not. It is the highlighter I have been wanting. Apart from those Jardin ones are beautiful, but they're limited edition, or suppose so was this, I guess. But this is what I've been wanting, and I think they need to make this completely permanent because this formula is, look at that. It's so beautiful. It's non-texture. I mean, it's a highlighter, so it's going to emphasize texture ever so slightly, but it really doesn't. Like, it just melts into the skin. It's beautiful, non-texturizing. I could build this up quite a bit more and it would still look lovely. If I wanted to. This is the highlight formula that Chanel needs to stick with, like from now on with their formulas. This is it. This is the one. There's no micro glitter, no nothing. It's absolutely beautiful. So yeah, I think if there's a shade in here that would suit you for highlighter and you would also could see yourself using this for like eyeshadow and that, must have. It is absolutely beautiful. The formula is absolutely beautiful, truly. I picked up the new Quintessence, I think it is. I believe this is a new formula for this blush, because there was an original Quintessence and then it says this is new. So I think this is a new one, and from when I was in store and I looked at the old one to the new one, I think this is like a more vibrant shade. And I use this on its own, so I'm just going to insert a picture of what this looks like on its own with no cream blush on it underneath it. And when I first used this, oh, did I fall in love with this blush. Wow, I still love this blush. Now, I don't know if anyone has one of these new ones from the spring collection and one of their reformulated ones. Can you please tell me, are the reformulated ones the same as these new ones, or are these a different formula? Because I know when they reformulated their powder blushes like these, everyone was quite upset and they said that they sucked. This is beautiful to me, like buildable, blurring, absolutely stunning. like would want way more shades of this if it's the same. But if you know, can you please tell me down below, pretty please. But I'm also going to use a cream blush today. Randomly, Sephora Australia dropped a new LYS product. We haven't had new LYS products in years. They dropped the cream blushes finally. I wish they dropped the rest of their new products because I'd really like to try their stick foundation, which by the way, if you have tried the LYS stick foundation, can you please tell me what you think of it? I picked up the shade Curvy, and when I got it, I was really disappointed because I didn't realize these were so metallic. Like, look at this. This is Curvy. Look how metallic that is, right? Now, we all know I don't like a metallic or shiny blush like this, right? But I tried it yesterday, picked it up with my sponge, and I'll try it again today and see. But yesterday when I did this, I really liked it. It actually didn't go on metallic. It just went on like a soft, ethereal glow that didn't enhance texture. Now I'm careful not to bring it too far into where my texture is. And I mean, because I'm using the sponge, it's not like a crazy, well, that's doing it pretty good. I was like, you know, it's a buildable pigment. It's not too intimidating, but I was surprised because when I swatch this, I hate it. But when I put this on the cheeks, I find this is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I did also pick up the new Hermes blush that has a bit of shimmer to it. I'll address that in another video, but it's not one that I'm saying, unless you want a glowy blush, it's not one that I'm saying you must like run, don't walk for that, unfortunately. This new Quintessence from Chanel, wow, 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 wow. I love it. So this is my Smashbox cheek brush. This is so buildable and stunning. I believe there was 2 new shades, one that started with J, I think, which would be good for deeper skin tones, and this one, and it is, oh, I love it. It is so blurring and buildable, and I just have fallen head over heels in love with this. So yeah, please tell me what you know about these formulas. Now I've put too much on. It's okay. It's gonna settle down, but I just wanted to show how gorgeous it is. Oh, I love it. It's gorgeous on its own. It's long wearing on its own. I love everything about this. I love everything about it. Whatever this formula is, I need more of it. Truly. I'm gonna take my Charlotte Tilbury setting spray. Oh, I really think this look has come out very nice. And then, like I normally do, I'm just taking my Christian Louboutin powder. It's just my Ray Morris Kabuki brush. And now I just like to reset through my T-zone after that. This is just like, if you're a combo skin gal like me or an oily gal, you might like to do this. This just keeps my makeup perfected for longer. Say it all the time. Andrea Ali, I got this tip from. But also because I went a little heavy on the blush here, it's also just gonna fix that. There we go. Lovely. Lastly, we have lips. So this isn't a new one. This is the Chanel lip liner in 158. Which I love the Chanel lip liners, if you're wondering. And then I picked up, and I went backwards and forwards on whether or not I was going to pick this up. This is the Rouge Cocoa Balm in Honey Bliss from the new spring collection, and I believe it's a similar formula to the original Cocoa Balms, but I think this is designed to have like more shine and oomph to it. And I was like, oh, I don't know if this is even a product that I would like, and like, is it actually hydrating on the lips, because I'm gonna have to reapply it all the time, and I'm obsessed with it. So one, this color, stop it right now. Absolutely beautiful, especially the way that it pairs with the entire collection. It is gorgeous. 2, this is actually hydrating on my lips. Like, I can wear this all day and I'm not running at the end of the day to put like my Summer Fridays lip balm on or like my Sigma lip mask on or something. Sometimes, like, especially I find with more designer lip products, sometimes I can find they're not actually hydrating throughout the day and my lips can get quite irritated. That's just it. I think my lips are just sensitive, to be honest, but I can wear this all day and it's gorgeous, and it's super easy to apply. You don't need a lip liner, but if like, I just like to. And I've gone into the office a couple of times over the past few weeks and I've worn this lip and it's just stunning the whole day. Like, I just reapply it whenever I want to and it's just gorgeous and I love it. It's beautiful, if you ask me. I actually am so surprised by how much I like this lip product. It's not one that I thought I was going to, truly. Anyway, all right, let me go do hair and all that and we will zoom out and I'll wrap this up. All right, my friends, finished look. What do you think? I honestly think this has come out beautifully. Absolutely beautifully. I really do, if I say so myself. Still haven't learned to talk properly in my time off, clearly. Okay, let's talk about these products. The Chanel Spring Summer collection, in my personal opinion, is gorgeous. I love it. I'm not going to say it's a run don't walk because I do think it's probably more a nice to have, but like my feelings towards it is kind of like a run don't walk because it brings me so much joy when I use it, and I haven't been able to stop using it since I got it, and I just think it looks absolutely beautiful, especially for those of you that are like, just need quick, fuss-free makeup in the morning. It's just, oh, Chanel has done it again, if you ask me. Like I said, the Glossier foundation for me, like as you can see, now that my makeup's all done, it looks beautiful and it will wear beautiful all through the day. It's just that when I initially apply it, I'm like, meh. I just think, you know, I have other foundations that look just as beautiful, I guess. But yeah, like I said, I think if you want that lighter medium coverage, light coverage to lighter medium coverage, a little bit more hydration and naturalness to your foundation, you probably quite like it. If you kind of like the Glossier aesthetic, I guess, you'll probably quite like it. I don't hate it. I'm not like, oh, I want to return it or I'm going to declutter it. I can see myself using it up. It's just I don't see myself repurchasing it. The Dior bronzer I think is actually beautiful. I really, really like it. I mean, I don't know what Dior's doing with these new products. I have never been a Dior like complexion product lover, but like their last foundation, their cream contour, and this bronzer, I am loving it. So yeah, love that. The LYS cream blush, I am so surprised how much I like that given how metallic it is, but I just think it looks gorgeous. Like I really think it looks stunning on the cheeks, and just, it's not a metallic that like is accentuating texture or looking too like greasy or just too much. It's just like, it almost just like gives you that facial kind of like juiced up, plumped up cheek look. Love that. The Lisa Eldridge pinpoint concealers, I think if you're a no makeup wearer, you'll probably really, really love them. If you're someone like me that likes the kind of extra little touches in your makeup, like the brightening under the brows and like how Lisa put it here and like here and stuff, I think you'll really like it from that perspective as well. I like them, but I think for like actual pinpoint concealing for me, they're not a must have. But then keep in mind also, that's just not how I do my makeup or my makeup preference, or that in that term, it might just not be the product for me. But in terms of like the brightening side of it and the other uses for it, I do really love it. The Sonia G Jumbo foundation brush is holy grail. Love, love, love. If you've even half considered it and it's still available, trust me, you won't regret it. The small mini sheer buffer, I think if you have the larger one, you probably don't need the mini one unless you are someone that you will like, no, that larger one is actually too big and you want that in a smaller version. Otherwise, I would just pick one or the other, but personally, I think I still like the larger one more so. The new BK Beauty Trio brushes, they're also like a pretty strong must-have for me. I think they're amazing. I really do. They're kind of like these fill-in brushes that you never knew you wanted in your collection. Obviously, keep in mind, one, totally just my opinion. Also, everyone's value of $1 is different, so only you can decide for yourself whether or not these are things that are must-haves for you or like you want to pick them up. I'm just telling you my 2 little cents on whether I love them, so just keep that in mind. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Have you picked any of this makeup up? What do you think? I'm dying to chat with you guys. I missed you. I love you all. If you're still here watching me and haven't deserted me, facetiously, but you know, thank you so much. The content is coming at you now, don't you worry. I am honed in and focused. Let me know what you want to see. Let me know what you think. Just let's chat. I missed you. Okay. All right, I've probably annoyed everyone enough for today. So if you're watching till this point, you're an absolute legend. Thank you so much. Extra special shout out to my Lily absolute legends and all my channel members that are supporting my channel still. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It means the world to me and it really does help way more than you realize. And I hope you have the most amazing day wherever you are in the world, and I will see you next time. Bye.